we had two dads whose songs were very famous, but they weren't famous.
Deep in the 100-acre wood, where Christopher Robin plays, you'll find the enchanted neighborhood of Christopher's childhood days. A donkey named Eeyore is his friend, and Kanga and Little Roo. There's Rabbit and Piglet, and there's Owl, but most of all, Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Chubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Willy-nilly, silly old bear. Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Chubby little cubby all stuffed with fluff. He's Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh. Willy-nilly, silly old bear.
Have 2 bananas. Have we got a deal?
Yes, sir. I'll do it. I'll do anything to stay in the jungle.
Well, then, I'll lay it on the line for you. Now I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me. I want to be a man cub, and stroll right into town, and be just like the other men. I'm tired of walking around. Oh, ooby-doo, I want to be like you. I want to walk like you, talk like you. You see it's true. An ape like me can learn to be human too.
Walt was this visionary, and my dad and uncle were the luckiest 2 songwriters in the history of cinema and everything else, because Walt had just opened Disneyland and there were no songs there. He had a weekly show and he needed songs for that. And he had his magnum opus, which was landing the rights to Mary Poppins, that he knew would be his entire bag of tricks.
Let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah. Why don't you and I combine? Let's get together, what do you say? We could have a swinging time. We'd be a crazy team. Why don't we bend the sea together? Oh, let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah. Think of all that we could share. Let's get together every day, everywhere and everywhere. And though we haven't got a lot, we could be sharing all we've got together. Oh, I really think you're swell. Uh-huh. We really ring the bell. Ooh-wee. And if you stick with me, nothing could be great to say, hey, alligator, let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's get together right away. We'll be having twice the fun, and you can always count on me. A Brewster twosome we will be. Let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Imagination, a dream can be a dream come true. With just that spark from me and you.
One little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation, right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark lights up for you.
Chim chimney, chim chim
Jiminy, Chim Chim Cher-ee.
That song won 2 Oscars for the movie Mary Poppins in 1964. These 2 Oscars, which belong to these 2 brothers. They're the songwriting team of Robert and Richard Sherman.
I write the words and music, and he writes the music and words. We work together, really.
They've been working together through 28 Disney movies spanning more than 30 years.
Let's get together, yeah, yeah, yeah.
For the next 13 years, most Walt Disney movies contain music and lyrics by the Sherman brothers. There was Jungle Book, Winnie the Pooh, The Aristocrats, and of course all those memorable songs from Mary Poppins.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
You sit in an office in Hollywood and say, what are we going to write today? That's very difficult. But when you have a script with characters and action, well, then you have great scope for writing.
While the Sherman brothers no longer work for Walt Disney Studios, Disney Records has released a new CD of their songs, including their most famous. If you've ever been to a Disney park, you've heard it.
It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world.
So how's he doing now?
Great.
Yeah.
You know, he's obviously slowing down a little bit in his. He's turning 93 in a couple months, and he is still, as long as we're talking subjects like music and fun stuff like that, he is the most engaging, fun, adorable person in the world. His short-term memories kind of.
Sure. Does he spend time at the piano?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yeah? That must be a treat.
He's still working. I'm working with him. It's phenomenal. Yeah, it's fantastic. He's still getting assignments. So as long as there's assignments and they're hiring him,
He's the man behind some of Disney's most magical music moments. Richard Sherman, one half of the iconic Sherman Brothers duo that left a lasting mark on Disney's legacy. From Mary Poppins to Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, Winnie the Pooh.
To one of Disneyland's most beloved attractions, It's a Small World.
It's a jolly, jolly day with Mary.
But what really put them on the map was their work on Mary Poppins. Richard and his brother Robert won 2 Oscars for the 1964 classic. The brothers would go on to write more than 200 songs for dozens of films and TV projects. Robert later died in 2012, but Richard still remained involved with Disney. Our George Pinocchio caught up with him at the premiere of the 2016 live-action version of The Jungle Book.
Wait, you are wearing a tie from the original movie?
Yeah, this is an homage to all my buddies that worked on the original movie with me. I'm still around, so I did a little work on this one too.
In 2022, he returned to the studio lot in Burbank to be part of the Once Upon a Studio short celebrating 100 years of the Walt Disney Company.
It's very nice to be back in Walt's office. It's just the way it was when I was much younger and Walt was here.
He played Feed the Birds for Mary Poppins, a song Walt Disney himself would ask him and his brother to play for him all the time. Animators chose it for the moment Mickey Mouse looks at Walt's picture. Richard says it resonated personally with Walt because he understood what the song was really about.
We're talking about it doesn't take much to give love, to give kindness, to give thought to people, giving a little something of yourself. And it doesn't take much to do that.
Truly a remarkable career and legacy. Disney CEO Bob Iger releasing a statement saying Richard Sherman was the embodiment of what it means to be a Disney legend, creating, along with his brother Robert, the beloved classics that have become a cherished part of the soundtrack of our lives. A private memorial will be held for Richard Sherman next Friday.
A good song starts with a great idea. If you don't have a good idea, don't write it, because everybody's written that. He said, you're going to write me a song that's going to explain all this. And that was why we wrote In the Tiki 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 Room.
Where the birds all sing and the flowers bloom.
Where the birds all sing and the flowers croon.
That too, yeah.
It's not a good rhyme, but it does.
It works.
Everybody in the Tiki 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 Room. In the Tiki 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 Room. All the birds sing words and the flowers croon. In the Tiki 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 Room. There's
There's a great big beautiful tomorrow.
I heard you play at the D23 fan convention.
That's right.
And you did this spectacular in front of 7,000 people, this concert of all your songs, and nobody had a camera. I saw like 3 people with a cell phone. I thought, oh, I wish I had that.
So there's a great big beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great
big beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away. I did songs that I did before my brother Bob and I really teamed as a partnership. I wrote songs with other writers, and I wrote a song called Christmas in New Orleans, which became a big standard down in New Orleans.
With Louis Armstrong singing it.
And you may call it fortune,
but
we call it Fortuosity. That's me by word. Fortuosity, me twinkle in the eye words.
Gene Autry did a song called Gold to Buy Anything But Love. He wanted all these goodies.
You know, because we hear the Disney standards and love them, and those are all in this special.
Then fly sky high around the moon, through the clouds, and you'll be there soon. Then in the mist of the morning light, where the rainbow ends, where the world is bright.
We did over about 33 songs. Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim cheree. A sweep is as lucky can be. Our dad, who was a great songwriter back in the 20s and the 30s and everything, he gave us a lesson one day. He said, you know, the great songs they're simple, singable, and sincere, but they're original. On the rooftops of London, coo, what a sight. Bob and I are songwriters, and so we wrote a song score. We told story with the songs. And so our song style was totally different. And we weren't trying to emulate what was going on. It was just a little change of pace. The songs were very much part of the storyline.
Now is the time, now is the best time, now is the best time of your life. Life is a prize, live every minute. Open your eyes and watch how you win it. Yesterday's memories may sparkle and gleam, tomorrow is still but a dream. Right here and now, you've got it made. The world's forward marching and you're in the parade. Now is the time, now is the best time. Be it a time of joy or strife. There's so much to cheer for. Be glad you're here, for it's the best time of your life.
Red, yellow, green, red, blue, 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 red, purple, green, yellow, orange, red, 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 yellow, green, red, blue, 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 red, purple, green, yellow, orange, red, red. Blend them up and what do you get? Cerise, chartreuse and aqua, mauve, beige and ultramarine and every color in between. Yes, Caduva, something, bow wow, color has its harmony, and just like I have said, red, yellow, green, red, blue, 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 red, purple, green, yellow, blue, purple, purple. Wait a second, what am I saying? It's supposed to finish with the red. Red. Now, all right, we know that everybody don't have television sets with color, so we're gonna do a version for them. We don't want you to feel left out of this. Here's for you. Black, black, gray, white, gray, 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 white, 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 gray, gray, white, black, 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 gray, white, gray, 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 white, white, gray, 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 black, black. All right, now you happy? You don't feel left out? Now I want to get back to my song. Blend them up and what do you get? Cerise, chartreuse and aqua, mauve, beige and ultramarine and every color in between. Whoop, hi, hi, ho, say, say, say. Color has its harmony and just like I have said. Red, yellow, green, red, blue, 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 red, purple, green, blue, purple, red, and white, and green, and red, and red, and blue, and it's...
After all, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction after all. When a baby spider tries to trap a fly, oftentimes the silken thread will come awry. Though a tangled web is all that he can claim, it's a step in the right direction all the same. All the same, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction all the same. All the same, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction all the same. When a little sparrow wants to leave the nest, first he has to put his feathers to the test. Tumbling from a treetop can't be called success, but it's a step in the right direction nonetheless. Nonetheless, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction nonetheless. Nonetheless, it's a step in the right direction. It's a step in the right direction nonetheless.
Walt used to call me in on a Friday afternoon with my brother Bob, and he'd sit down over here, he'd say, play it. And I would play Feed the Birds. He loved that song. It was his mantra. I think he was feeding the birds all his life. He was giving love. It doesn't take much to give love. That's what it's all about. So for Walt, I'm getting crowded. For Walt, I'm going to sing this one. Early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman comes in her own special way to the people she calls. Come buy my bags full of crumbs. Come feed the little birds, show them you care, and you'll be glad if you do. Their young ones are hungry, their nests are so bare. All it takes is tuppence from you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Tuppence, tuppence a bag. Feed the birds, that's what she cries, while overhead her birds fill the skies. All around the cathedral, the saints and apostles look down as she sells her wares. Although you can't see it, you know they are smiling each time someone shows that he cares. Though her words are simple and few, listen, listen, she's calling to you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag. It was all about it.
There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, and tomorrow's just a dream away. Man has a dream, and that's the start. He follows his dream with mind and heart, and when it becomes a reality, it's a dream come true for you and me. So there's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow shining at the end of every day. There's a great, big, beautiful tomorrow, just a dream away.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities are Mother Nature's recipes that bring the bare necessities of life. Wherever I wander, wherever I roam, I couldn't be found off my big home. The bees are buzzing in the tree to make some honey just for me. When you look under the rocks and plants and take a glance at the fancy ants, then maybe try a few. The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you.
When I say earworms, people say, it's a small world. That's the one that they always bring up. Is that something they were insulted by, or was something they were proud of?
Yeah, insulted all the way to the bank.
Were they?
I'll tell you an interesting. This is the story of It's a Small World from the point of view of my family. This may not extend out to people that it was deliberately supposed to be that, but it didn't start out that way. Walt was building 2 pavilions for the World's Fair in 1964. And one of them was going to be where the audience rotated and the set piece would stay, and that was Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow. And they had written a song for that. And it was, they didn't understand what audio animatronics were. He brought my dad and uncle to play it for the people of WED so they understood how they were going to build it and how the sound was going to work. And this was just going to be a pavilion in the 1964 World's Fair, and this was 1963. And they're driving back, and my uncle's sitting in the front seat, and he says to Walt, you know, it's really great that we're getting this opportunity. We know it's going to the children. We'd like to donate the future proceeds of the song to UNICEF because, and Walt tears off the freeway, slams on his brakes, and he says, that song is going to put your great-grandchildren through college. You never give up the rights to that song. And got like angry, and then like pulled back on the road and just kept driving down. He had visions. They didn't know. They thought it was going to be, you know, there for the time of the World's Fair and it was going to go away.
Oh.
He knew what he was going to do. He knew he was building parks all over the world. He knew that that was all going to happen. They had no idea. And thank God he did that because my kids are benefiting from his sage advice.
Oh, that's nice.
I can't believe that it's been 50 years since my brother Robert and I wrote this little song. It meant a lot to me then, and it means so much more to me now. It's a world of laughter,
a world of tears.
It's a world of hope.
There's so much that we should
Fürs ganze Leben sein.
in was wir träumen dich lieb.
Muy pequeño el mundo.
It's a small world after all. Debe haber más hermandad. It's a small, small world.
There is just one moon.
And a smile means friendship to everyone.
Though the mountains divide,
This is foreign after all.
It's a small world after all.
It's a small world after all. It's a small, small world.
I call it Fortuosity. That's me byword. Fortuosity, a twinkle in the eye word. Sometimes castles fall to the ground, but that's where four-leaf clovers are found. Fortuosity, lucky chances, fortuitous little happy happenstances. I don't worry, 'cause everywhere I see that every bit of life is lit by fortuosity.
Get the feel of the wheel of a Ford. Settle back, take command, hold tomorrow in your hand. Get the feel of the wheel of a Ford. Feel the pride as you glide, and you're envied and you're eyed. It's the feel of the wheel of a Ford. Dream up a dream car just for you. Ford makes your dream car dreams come true. So to know how it feels to have wings on your wheels, get the feel of the wheel of a Ford.
Because of all the films that my dad and uncle worked on, and they did more song scores than any composers in history. There's nothing better than Mary Poppins. It was really this incredible film. He finally just said, and now I'd like you to read this book and tell me what you think. And they read Mary Poppins and underlined a few chapters. And the big problem for them was that there was no real reason for Mary Poppins to be with the children. There was no reason for her to come. There was no reason for her to leave. So they started thinking like storytellers, which is why Walt really trusted them. And they came up with this idea that would have a reason for her to be there to fix this broken family to the best that she could. And then she'd move on to the next place and work her magic on the next broken family. And Walt handed them a contract after they gave a few song sketches and sat there in a meeting with them. And they started working on this project for years, not knowing that Walt had still not secured the rights. And then all of a sudden, they were sprung on this idea. Walt said, "Yeah, Mrs. Chavez is going to come into town, and I got to get out of here." So this whole notion of Saving Mr. Banks, where he takes her to Disneyland and does all this cajoling, he was nowhere to be found. He left them in a room with their visual story guy, Don DeGrati, and eventually they brought on their best screenwriter, the staff screenwriter, Bill Walsh. And it was the four of them plus Walt, who micromanaged everything, that came up with the character of Bert.
Yeah.
And that he would be this through line for Mary to bounce off of, and there would be no romantic interest. That was very important.
In the tiki 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 room, in the tiki 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 room, all the birds sing bird and the flowers room. In the tiki 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 room. Welcome to my tropical hideaway. You love me, we for you. If we weren't in the show, starting right away, we'd be the only two. All together in the tiki 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 room, in the tiki 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 room. All the birds sing bird and the flowers room. In the tiki 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 room. I sing so beautiful, I should sing so low.
See, so low we can't hear you. My voice may not be so marvelous, but my profile is out of this world.
Yeah, boy, but the trouble is, it's not far enough out of this world. It's not right here, Schmidt. Oh, I see, Schmidt has no hair.
Real Beagle, stop the clucking. You sound like a bunch of old hens. There's a lot of birds waiting to go on. For instance,
the boys in the back are called macaws.
Because of their claws?
No, because they're macaws. And a fine feathered friend is a jolly tooth can, and two can sound better than one can.
The bird of paradise is an elegant bird. It likes to be seen and it loves to be heard. Most little birdies will fly away, but the tiki room birds are here every day.
There's an art to writing earworms, and I feel like that if you have a melody that's sticky and that can resonate with you, I mean, in answer to Stu Lewis's question from a moment ago, I didn't feel like that really happened in the sequel to Mary Poppins, but there are so many sticky, memorable melodies in just one score of Mary Poppins that I just consider it a high praise.
Yeah.
And I don't consider it an insult at all. I think there are a lot of people that get upset because they can't get the song out of their heads for It's a Small World, but I'll take it. I think that's a high
But your
praise.
dad was less comfortable with that. Your dad did not find it high praise.
No, he feels it's fine if people don't like it, because he felt like he was on an assignment and he completed the assignment, and he gets as much. Many people say it's their favorite ride on the park as he does people that are just detractors.
Right.
He tends to like the people, song sketches that they came in with after Walt had given them the books, and they came back with this storyline, and they had written out song sketches are like 8 bars of a number, 16 bars. They hadn't written the complete song. And at the time, this was called Tuppence a Bag. And it was just something that talked about charity, and it was a little chapter about the bird lady in the books that they thought was a metaphor for the entire film. It doesn't take much tuppence, 2 pence, 2 pennies to give a little bit back to those that are in need. And that's the lesson for the entire Banks family, for Mr. Banks, for everybody. And so they played this, and Walt he got it. And he's like, that's what it's all about. In 1961, when they played it for him. And he just went to the east window of his office and said, play me that Bird Lady song again. And my dad played, because my dad was a pianist, and he played it again. And Walt said, I got some contracts sitting on my desk. I'd like you guys to come work here. And they are the only ever staff songwriters that have ever worked for the Walt Disney Company. And every Friday from that point until his death, he would call them into his office and he'd ask them what was going on, what assignments they were working on. And then he'd look to my dad and go, play it.
Imagination, a dream can be a dream come true. With just that spark from me and you, one little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation, right at the start of everything that's new. One little spark lights up for you. Imagination, imagination, a dream can be a dream come true. With just that spark from me and you.
Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities. That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life. Now when you pick a pawpaw or a prickly pear and you prick a raw paw, well, next time beware. Don't pick the prickly pear by the paw. When you pick a pear, try to use the claw. But you don't need to use the claw when you pick a pear of the big pawpaw. Have I given you a clue? The bare necessities of life will come to you. They'll come to you. Oh man, this is really living. Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. I mean the bare necessities. That's why a bear can rest at ease with just the bare necessities of life. Yeah, with just